everybody, welcome to the inaugural video for the Vision Quest online series during the next 30 days while we're all spending a lot more time with each other. It's snowing out today, so I hope you're staying warm as well. We are currently in the fire module, and so we're going to take you through a warm-up. We're going to give you a warm-up to do. We're going to talk about stretches to do. We're going to cover roundhouse kicks today, and we're going to show you your bear hug technique. Now, we're covering the Panthers and the adults in one video today just because it happens to fit. But in the future, there will probably be separate videos for Panthers and adults alike. It just lines up really well today for what we're doing. So if you see something that's not your technique or item list, just keep watching because it will be later in the video. Now, for our warm-up, everything is going to be to failure today. It's a very upper body based workout. There's still some legs in there, but we're going to start with push-ups. Once you hit Panthers class and adult class, there are push-up benchmarks, so we're going to help everybody get fit and strong towards reaching those goals. We're going to talk about the first standard 3 push-ups there are. Standard push-up by definition would be hands underneath your shoulders, forming a straight line from your shoulders to your hips and then to your knees. Now if you're on your toes, it goes through the ankle, but you can have your knees down if you like. Either's fine. We're going to lower ourselves down until we're on the floor, and then we're going to press all the way back up. That's 1 repetition. So we have standard push-ups here. That's what we mean by standard. And for the first round, I want sets of 5. So you're going to do 5 standard push-ups. I think that's 5. And then we have wide arm push-ups where now we go wider in our hands. Our body stays the same, and then I lower myself down, and again we have 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, I'm going to bring my hands together to form a diamond shape on the floor, and it's important that it goes to my sternum as I lower myself down, and then I press myself back up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, you can do any of these from your knees. And I would do that, and then I would go back to standard push-ups, and then wide, and then diamond, 5 of each, over and over, until you just can't do anymore. And then give yourself a 30-second break, because next we have tricep dips that we're going to cover. So you can use a chair. I want to sit on the chair first, and then get my hands in place. I'm going to walk myself forward. I can keep my knees bent as I drop down and press up. You can switch your grip if the other grip doesn't work for you. And then I'm going to do these to failure. If I need it to be harder, I straighten my legs out as I go down and up. If I need it harder still, I keep 1 foot off the ground, and then I work the other foot off the ground as well. But I want you to go until you literally can't do any more. Once we're done with our push-ups and our dips, we're going to use the chair for some additional strengthening of our chest muscles. So we're going to do the inclined push-up where I put my hands on the chair and my feet back, and then I lower myself and I press myself up. And then I have my decline push-up where my feet are on the chair and my hands are on the floor, and I do my push-up. I want you to go back and forth sets of 5 between one and the other. You guessed it, until you can't do anymore. And that's your upper body workout. Now we're going to talk about some legs. We're going to do squats. We're going to do power squats where I'm already sitting. I want to keep my spine tall and straight. And without rocking too much momentum forward, I want to try to keep my body upright, squeeze my glutes and my hamstrings to get myself to come up. And there's a little bit of a hop at the top, and then I can sit back down and then work on driving with as little rock as possible. If that's too easy, then what I want you to do is move forward from the chair a bit, so as you go to sit in it, you're just barely grazing the chair, and then you're going to stand and jump, and then sit back until you find it, and then stand and jump. But make sure you have a pause at the bottom before you explode through the rest of the movement. Those are the legs I want you to do, and I want you to do no less than 50 at a time, and then take 30 seconds off, and then see if you can do another 50, and then 30 seconds off until you just can't do any more, or once 4 minutes has passed for just the leg portion. So that way you're getting plenty of blood flow to them as well, because what comes next is our stretch. We're doing roundhouse kicks, lots of kicks today, and so we want to make sure our legs are nice and limber. So you're going to reach up like you normally do, and then reach back down for your toes. Touch the ground first with your knees bent, and start to straighten your legs until your fingertips start to come off the floor, and then that's as far as you go. That's your stretch. We count to 10 here, and then we're done. Before you stand up, bend your knees again. Before you stand up. Next stretch, we're going to bend our knees, reach down for our foot, and pull up on it. Then I start to straighten my legs until they just won't go any more straight. And there's my stretch, and we get a count of 10. And then we do the other side, same way. And counting to 10 can get a bit droll and monotonous, so what we like to do is think of like road trip car games, like the alphabet game where you come up with different animals or fruits or whatever have you, MCU characters, whatever it might be, but count in different ways. You can do different languages. I know kids are doing school from home now, so you could kind of give them pop quizzes, see if they can answer as we go. They're probably rebelling right now. Don't worry, it'll qualm. But then, so we've done both sides. Next up is sumo stretch for us, where our feet are about shoulder width apart. I lower my seat, and I push my knees apart, and I look up. And again, I'm here for a count of 10. So now that we're done with our warm-up and our stretch, go get some water. Take a minute, maybe a minute and a half to kind of compose yourself, because next up is kicks. We're working roundhouse kicks this time. And the biggest things that I want us to focus on in week 1, which is our basics week, is I want to work my pivot. I'm going to take the heel of my foot and point it where I want my kick to go. After I have my heel pointed, I lift my foot to my seat, and then I lift everything and point it where my heel is going. Then I straighten my leg, I pull it back, and then I set it down. And that's my roundhouse kick. So I have my pivot, my chamber, kick, re-chamber, and then I set it back down. I want you to do 10 of those on each leg 3 times. So it's a total of 30 kicks per leg. To really make sure we're building that habit of pivoting and then lifting our chamber properly with our guard up, finding my kick, pulling it back, and setting it down. I want this done slow and controlled under tension for these 30 reps on each leg, 10 at a time. Once that's done, if you have a partner, have them hold their hand out, because now they're going to go from low, middle, or high, not over and over, you're just going to pick one. So then I have my pivot, I lift, and I have my kick, and then they're going to change the height zone, and I pivot, and I kick. They can go back lower again. I pivot, I chamber, and I kick. They could go to high. I have my pivot, chamber, and then I have my kick and my re-chamber, and then I bring it back down. It's okay to challenge them and give them lots of different height zones, but it's only one kick at a time. I want 10, and then I do 10 on the other leg. Now once you've done that, the next kick drill is they're going to hold their hand out, and for me to get a little bit of symmetry, I'm going to use the other leg. I have my pivot, I lift my chamber. I want 10 in a row without hopping around or wobbling or putting my foot down. If that happens, they have to start back over. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I do both legs that way. Total of 30, 10 and 10 each time, just like all the other kicks. Now, you might say, Mr. Milliken, I don't have a partner, what do I do? So you're going to take that chair again and learn some self-control. Because now I still have my pivot, but I can still practice slow and controlled to a target. I can do varying height zones. and I can still practice my 1 through 10. Practicing that good self-control without hurting my foot or damaging the furniture. Don't damage the furniture, okay? Don't break yourself. If you have control, you have power. Just because you're not using it doesn't mean you don't have it. But you have to have control to get that power. Those are our kicks that I want us to work on, which leads us to techniques. For all of my beginner Panthers, white belt through advanced orange. For my youth masters, and for my beginner adults, again, white through advanced orange. Crashing wings is your technique. It's off of a bear hug, arms free. And so they're grabbing lower down. I want to raise my arms up, bringing the elbows close together. As they land, I'm going to drop my weight and step to the side, trying to pry apart the hands. I slide over, and then I step back. This is a forward bow. I have my elbow, neutral bow, forward bow, hammer, hammer, and they go down, and that's the end of the technique. That's just what it looks like. At home, ideally, you probably don't have the mats at home to work techniques this way. So what I want you to do is do it in the air. Now, if you happen to have a family that trains, we have some families that everybody's training with us, and you have mats at home, and you want to do the takedowns, that's up to you. I would make sure you wear your mouth guards. Otherwise, you can practice in the air just by raising your hands, stepping to the side, crashing down, sliding over, stepping back. Then we have our elbow, hammer, hammer. And that's crashing wings. And I want you to practice your technique in the air no less than 15 times. If you have partners, I would bump it up to 30 with the back and forth, or 15 by yourself and then 15 with a partner. But make sure you're getting those reps in to help your long-term memory so that when we're able to come back to the dojo, you're squared away and ready to go. Spiraling twig is a bear hug. The arms are free and the grip is higher now. I can't crash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my middle knuckles and I'm going to wrap on the back of their hands until I feel them wince. And then I'm going to flap my arms to my side and then pin the hand down. I step away and spin round. I kick and then I punch, and that's spiraling twigs. So let's do that together in the air. We have what I call the tap, flap, and clap. And then I step, and then I spin. I have my lock, I kick, I land, and I punch. And that's my spiraling twigs. So again, tap, flap, clap. I'm going to follow my toes first, and then I follow my heel second. I have my lock, I have my kick, and I land and I have my punch. Last time for spiraling twig, I'll do it facing away so you can kind of do it with me. I have my tap, flap, and clap. I step and spin. I have my lock, my kick, and my punch. And that's spiraling twig. That's for people purple belt through advanced green. Next up we have our red belt to provisional black belt material. For adults only, this is crushing hammer. He puts me in a bear hug, arms pinned. I'm going to grab for control and drop my weight, push to the side and start to hit until I feel them